Good afternoon. This is Sid Haas with LKCS. Thank you for joining our webinar today regarding e-statements stuck in the Ice Age. I look forward to meeting with you. Please feel free to ask any questions as we go along. You'll just need to type them into the GoToWebinar toolbar on your screen, as phone lines are muted throughout the presentation. We should have time at the end of the presentation for questions as well. Everybody will be receiving a copy of today's presentation. It's actually attached to your GoToMeeting toolbar, so you can download it at any time. And you'll also get an email this afternoon with a link to download the presentation from our SlideShare page. And the webinar is being recorded as well and will be posted on YouTube. So that email you receive this afternoon will also include a link to our YouTube channel. For those of you not familiar with LKCS, I just wanted to share a little bit about the company. The company was founded back in 1961, and we've been working with financial institutions for that entire time, providing a variety of marketing and communication services. Statements and e-statements is a large part of what we do. We currently provide statement services for about 200 financial institutions, a little bit over that each month, but obviously we provide a wide variety of other services as well that we tie into our statements. E-statements have evolved, over the last 10 years. So the question really is, have yours? And we'll share some of those changes that we've seen in the industry and some of the features that you may want to consider implementing. So when you look at your e-statements, we invite you to really scrutinize your current e-statement solution. Our approach is that you need to deliver a premium user experience. In fact, your e-statement should be better than your paper statements. Your account holders know exactly what to expect when they open a statement envelope. They know what that process is going to be like. To pull a paper statement out of an envelope and review it. They're not necessarily sure of what an e-statement is going to look like and how that's going to work. So again, we need to provide a premium experience that provides a benefit to your account holders, not just the cost savings benefit to your institution. So obviously the first way to do that is just with branding. We still see some quote unquote generic, e-statement solutions out there. And there are better approaches. Obviously, you should be looking for an e-statement solution that enables you to incorporate your branding and your logo and your colors and your backgrounds and all of that into the e-statements. So that's, option number one for you. Then obviously, your statements can be reformatted both for paper statements and for electronic statements. If your statements still look like the example here on the left, then you really need to engage your statement or e-statement vendor to update the design of that statement, change the fonts, change the layout, incorporate some graphical elements, different things like that, to again both reinforce your brand and to make your statements and e-statements easier to read and understand, for all of your account holders. And know that when it comes to e-statements, that color doesn't cost more. Color still typically costs more for paper statements than black and white statements, but it doesn't cost any more to display color on a computer screen than it does just to support, just to present black. So there's no reason that your e-statements can't incorporate some color, some splashes of color, whether it's in the account headings and the ads, and even in the figures and certain transactions can be highlighted in color, as you see in the example here. And then obviously you can add some marketing sizzle to your e-statements as well. So some examples are e-statement stuffers, right? We're used to including statement stuffers with our paper statements, whether they're newsletters or buck slip inserts, those types of things. But how do you do that with your electronic statements? And one solution is actually to present banner ads with your electronic statements, with those banner ads linking to web pages or PDFs with that statement stuffer type content. They obviously can link directly to other web pages, online forms or applications, and other things, but it's certainly a way for you to deliver, your newsletter and other PDF inserts with your e-statements. These can appear for all of your account holders, or they can be selectively displayed. So different groups of account holders can get different combinations of banner ads, just like they can get different combination of paper inserts with their traditional statements. And vendors can do things such as, calling out flags, such as so that, account holders know exactly which of these ads are new that they haven't seen before, if you have some that you use from month to month, as an example. Obviously, you can incorporate statement ads, or what we call onserts, directly into your statements, and whether they're your paper statements or your electronic statements. Just like those banner ads, those can be selective as well. So again, different groups of account holders can see different onserts. We have more and more of our clients, obviously, that have business statements. Those business statements can have different ads on them than the regular statements. We can look at what products people have, what relationships they have with you, what balances they carry, their demographics. All sorts of factors can come into play when we look at who's eligible to receive different offers with their statements. And we'll talk about that more further. Because we do have that ability to target, whether it's in paper statements or e-statements. Again, we can target these banner ads or these onserts based on account relationships, balances, different types of transactions or account activity, where people live, their credit score, really any conditions that we can find in that statement data file, or any conditions that would be available to us from a separate file you send us. That could be as simple as just a list of account numbers that say these account holders should receive, this onsert or this ad. It can be as simple as that, or it can get, significantly more complicated. These types of technologies can be used for cross-selling and all sorts of marketing. So some examples are presented here, but, for anybody with a CD renewal or a loan payoff, we can pay special attention to that, let them know, maybe show them a rate grid for new CDs, thank them for paying off their loan. When it comes to auto loans, maybe if, an account holder hits that 36-month mark on having an existing loan with you, maybe it's time to talk with them about, if you're ever considering trading that vehicle in, just know that, we're here ready to help you with that next auto loan. For HELOCs, maybe if, people have outstanding, if they have available credit that they haven't used yet in their HELOC, that you include a little HELOC advance request form. Make it easy for account holders to fill out and request in advance on their home equity line of credit. So again, you can see, birthday messages I'll show you an example of, and even pre-screen loan campaigns, which I'll show you examples of, can all be incorporated into your statements and e-statements to really kick it up a notch, and then start generating some new business potentially while you're saving money with e-statements. The email notifications that get sent out for your e-statements don't have to be plain and boring. They don't just have to say your latest statement is available, click here to log in. You can turn them potentially into your online newsletter, or at least incorporate, such as the example on the right, at least incorporate some kind of graphic or banner ad with your email notification to call attention to your latest marketing campaign. You're sending that email out anyway. It can have additional use than just reminding an account holder that their latest statement is available for them online. And we can keep going. So we can, e-statement solutions such as ours can be customized so that you can actually customize the landing page. So that first page that your account holders see that typically lists what statements are available to each account holder can obviously be customized to, again, promote a specific cross-sell effort or your latest product special, whatever it might be. And it's just a web page like any other web page, so it can incorporate a form or some buttons, different functionality to enable people to act right from that e-statement page as well. So these can get highly interactive and highly specific for different campaigns that you might be running online. Add video to your e-statements. Many of our customers are investing in video. There's no reason that you can't incorporate your latest video, even a YouTube feed, for example, right into your e-statement pages, if you want to. And popovers. So in this case, this is an example of a popover used to get somebody to subscribe to an electronic newsletter, an email newsletter. But these are also great for compliance notifications. Anything that you don't want to be ignored, you want to call attention to it. These types of messages. I wouldn't do this every month. I would do this only for special circumstances. But it can be done and made very easy for people to obviously accept a new notification or take advantage of some type of offer that you might be presenting to them via a popover. We can also incorporate onboarding and matrix campaigns into your statements and e-statements. So when it comes to new account holders, we can begin to cross-sell products and services for them with their first e-statement. So these are matrix-based onserts, that we send a series, we will deliver a series of onserts to new account holders, cross-selling products and services that they don't already have. It's a series of onserts then sent out, typically once per month, right? Once per statement run for each customer or each account holder to cross-sell additional products and services. It's the same concept as an onboarding campaign that we execute via direct mail. But it's a terrific solution, obviously, for those new account holders, but can also be used in the case of mergers or new branch locations. We can customize these matrix-based offers based on what we know about each and every individual account holder. So we wouldn't be cross-selling products and services they already have. We can customize these offers and these matrix diagrams, based, again, on demographics and what we know about the individual account holder. These are some examples of what those onserts can look like. So this is what one customer has done regarding an onboarding campaign executed with their statements and e-statements. What I really like about these is each of those black boxes might be a little bit hard for you to read, but each of the black boxes includes a little special offer so that account holders would bring these back to the customer, makes it very measurable for the customer to see what kind of results they're getting from these types of statement-based campaigns. And one of the most important things you need to do is make sure that your e-statements are easy and convenient for your account holders to use. So we need to make sure that your e-statements are mobile friendly. This slide is actually outdated. Current numbers are showing us that over 50% of most of our clients' web traffic, most of our bank and credit union websites, their visitors are coming to those websites from mobile devices. They're not coming to them anymore from desktop computers. And the same is true with e-statements. 40 to 50% of U.S. internet users only use mobile devices. So you need to make sure, just like your websites are mobile responsive, you need to make sure that your e-statements are mobile friendly and mobile responsive as well. These are some screenshots of our e-statement solution just so you can see how they perform on mobile devices. In addition to email, since more and more users are mobile, you may want to consider sending out text message notifications in addition to email notifications. This is an example of one of our clients who enables each of their account holders to specify how they want to be notified for each type of document that they may receive from their financial institution. So for different types of daily notices or statements or tax forms, the account holder can actually specify whether they receive an email or a text message or both. So a good example would be for a regular account statement, a monthly account statement, an email notification may be perfectly fine. But if I receive a negative balance notice or something like that, I want to get a text message because that's something that I want to address, obviously, sooner rather than later. You need to make sure to remove any barriers to e-statements. And I know that sounds simple, but we still see very complicated enrollment procedures. Online registration now is a must. We don't want account holders to have to sign a paper form or to visit, their closest branch location to sign up for electronic statements. They need to be able to do this all online. With LKCSs, our solutions are that the account holder just needs to know their account number and the last 4 digits of their social security number. If they know those 2 pieces of information, they can set a password if applicable or log in via online banking to e-statements, possibly set the answers to their multi-factor authentication questions if they're not coming in via an e-statement single sign-on, and accept the disclosure. Literally takes seconds to enroll for e-statements electronically, and we want to make sure that we can make it as easy as possible. Most of our customers now, more and more of them are implementing or use online banking single sign-on, which we have relationships with multiple online banking providers. In those cases, your account holder basically clicks one link from within online banking, and they accept the disclosure to register for e-statements. It doesn't get any easier. And you also need to make sure that there's an easy opt-out. So one of the things that we found over the years is that customers, because they're not sure of that e-statement experience, as we talked about early on, they want to know that if they really don't like the e-statements, that they can go back to receiving a paper statement. With us, it's a simple checkbox to revert to a paper statement. And what we find is that very, very few people actually revert to paper once they're using e-statements. But they want that ability to do that just in case they don't like the e-statement experience, they have a technical problem, anything like that. They want to know they can go back. And one idea for you to consider is what we call a one-click email marketing enrollment. We can send an email, and other providers can as well, to your account holders that aren't signed up for e-statements. And right from that email, they can actually be driven right through the enrollment process to get signed up for e-statements with literally just a couple of clicks. And again, no personal involvement, in-person involvement, with your institution. You want to be able to deliver multiple document types via your e-statements. So, we still see the majority of customers and banks and credit unions only delivering their monthly, or quarterly statements electronically. You can deliver all of your different types of daily notices, your credit card statements, your mortgage statements, your tax forms, any communications, any documents that you're routinely sending can all be posted electronically, and your account holders can be notified again via text and or email when those documents are available, and know that they're always out there for them. And then imagine how much more you could save if all of those types of documents were delivered electronically to your account holders. Here are some examples of daily notices and credit card bills that are being presented electronically as e-documents instead of being delivered just as paper. When it comes to retention, you want to be the filing cabinet, right? An absolute minimum amount of time that documents should be available are 12 months, but we hear from account holders all the time and institutions all the time that want longer retention periods. 18 to 24 months is becoming much more common. If you can tell an account holder that the last 2 years of their statements are available online, it's that much better for them than 1 year. And we have more and more of our customers coming to us asking for unlimited retention. And really, it honestly comes down to the cost of computer storage, which is less and less just about every day. So it's not expensive for you to ask your vendor to add another year, 2 years, 5 years of retention for your electronic documents. You also want to be able to provide instant access. So when an existing account holder signs up for e-statements, talk to your vendor about what's needed to have all of that history available for them from day one. So if I'm an account holder and I have been with your institution for the last 2 years, and I first now sign up for e-statements, I want to be able to access those prior 2 years of documents from the instant I sign up. And that's very easily doable today. And that should be the goal, is to obviously have that history. It's also going to help you when that customer or account holder comes in to, your facility and asks to be able to look at, a statement from 6 months or a year ago. You all have those fees in place, and, I can get that statement for you. It's going to cost you $2 a page, or we can sign you up for e-statements and it'll be available for you instantly. And I'll show you how to use it, et cetera, et cetera. E-statements can also benefit your staff. So there's e-statement benefits, obviously, for your account holders, but there's also benefits for your staff. So when it comes to e-statement management, how do you check or modify e-statement user settings? How do you know who signed up for e-statements? How do you know who signed up during your last marketing promotion? Who signed up and which email addresses are bouncing back, and how are you able to view any of your account holders, statements, whether they're signed up for e-statements or not. All of this can be done very, very easily through many e-statement platforms. It shouldn't be difficult. If any of this is a pain point for you, then you need to talk to your provider about improving the situations. These are some screenshots showing reporting from our system. So we have a series of reports available, all as Excel or CSV files. But right from our interface, you'll immediately see how many e-statement users you have enrolled, how many enrolled within the last 30 days. And then you can access reports such as an end user enrollment report, which would give you a complete list of everybody signed up for e-statements. And you can filter that, obviously, by a beginning and an ending date. So if you wanted to see who enrolled in the last quarter, maybe you had an e-statement campaign in the last 3 months and you want to see who's eligible to win that $100 gift card or whatever it is you're giving away, that can be pulled instantly. Same thing such as an email address bounce report. We have about 10 or 12 stock reports, and we're always happy to create other ones if there's other data that you need that you don't see in an existing report. But that should be easy for you. That's really all I have for you. It was a quick and easy presentation today. But just to give you an idea of what's available in electronic statements today, some of the improvements that have been made, I just wanted to share that information. And I'm certainly happy to answer any questions that you may have. If you want to compare or ask questions about our specific solutions, please feel free to contact me offline at any time. But again, thanks for joining the webinar. I appreciate your time.